We got ourselves a video called The Best 2024 Anime ... according to anime fans. I always think that it is so impossible to gauge what the best anime is. Best is such a obscure, such a vague term, and entertainment is so subjective that rom-com enjoyers are never gonna enjoy battle shonen. Battle shonen enjoyers are not gonna enjoy slice of life, and so on. If you make the best pepperoni pizza ever, but you give it to people who only enjoy vegetarian pizza, then how could you possibly say it's the best? I think like a category of like best of this genre and that genre might be a little bit closer, but even then, again, it's so subjective it's impossible, right? I think like best produced anime is definitely possible, right? Because best produced anime, now you can actually like qualitatively analyze the production value of a show, but let's see what the best 2024 anime is.
Anytime I review or even just criticize an anime, there's always one guy in the comments who's like, was subscribed, but fairy tale hate is not tolerated.
Immediately ban this retard. No one cares, bro. Dino Snake 76, oh no, he's leaving the channel. I'm gonna fall off now. Bro, no one cares. Literally, no one gives a fuck that you're pissed off in the YouTube comment sections. People are literally crying in the quintessential quintuplets poll saying Madoka lost, and they're like, quintessential quintuplets won over Madoka? I'm not gonna stay in this channel. It's just like, listen, you're a fucking tourist. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Get the fuck out.
Even if it's ironic, unsubscribe. So then I got the idea. You know, the anime community, clearly they've always had the best taste. So you know what? Let's ask them what the best anime
like the combination, if you add everyone's IQ here of the comment section combined, I don't think you reach triple digits.
Best taste. So you know what? Let's ask them what the best anime of 2024 was. And so I decided to scrape the entire internet for data, all to answer the question everyone's been
Uma Musume animation here goes fucking crazy.
wondering, what is the anime community's favorite anime? And at the end, I'll go over my own personal favorites.
Bro, that scene is insane. This anime about this furry girl just running his track. The attention to detail here is crazy.
As well. But first, we gotta talk about the biggest stinkers of 2024.
Blue Lock doesn't even come close to the biggest stinker of 2024. Tower of God easily clears this shit.
The first of which being Blue Lock Season 2, which scored a 7.48. Now, this was actually in the 6s, you know, because of the poor production quality plaguing the show, but you already know about that. Ugh, it's just sad. The second worst anime of 2024 is Ninja Kamui.
The first episode, like, it catfished everybody, right? They're like, oh my god, yo, these ninja dudes fighting, it's so peak. Remember that one Sylvana skit? He was like, yo, Ninja Kamui so peak. And then we watched episode 2 and it's just like, oh shit.
I didn't really watch this. I heard a lot of people didn't like it. But of course, in last place was
Uzumaki.
with the best first episode and the worst last episode in a
Impressive
single anime. I don't know how they speedran that. And as the famous anime reviewer Bible Camp Victim 2 eloquently put it, sadly, this adaptation's animation was way more disturbing than the story itself.
Based. If his profile picture is Iruma, in like edgy Iruma mode, I respect his I respect his opinion.
Anyway, enough of these stinkers. Let's move on to the best anime of 2024. Again,
that's crazy to me that Tower of God is not even making it on to this list. How the fuck does Tower of God Season 2 keep getting away with it? It's because it's so mid, it's not even on anyone's like radars. It's so insignificant that like people don't even talk about how shit it is. That's the level of disgrace Season 2 is with the Answer Studio. Go fuck yourselves.
According to the anime community. So get some snacks, you know, sit down in your Flex-A-Spot C7 Max office chair and enjoy the video.
Hashtag ad?
Oh, you don't have one?
Can I get a discount code for your chair?
One of the most ergonomic chairs ever made? Well, let me introduce you to the sponsor of today's video. This was my old chair. It sucked. It's bad for my posture, and I constantly had to get up to stretch my back, even though I'm only in my early 20s. And then Flex-A-Spot changed my life by offering to send me one of their premium office
Amazing.
chairs. Once it arrived, I built it, which was pretty simple.
Amazing,
and free. And then immediately I knew it would fix my ergonomic problems. And my favorite part about this chair is just how versatile and adjustable it is. Like, for example, take a look at the armrests. They are almost completely changeable to whatever position you wanted. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna help him masturbate really nicely, you know, in the chair if he wants to go back and, you know, crank one out and stuff like that. My Herman Miller is really nice for that shit too. Anyways, let's get back to the regular content. Use the discount code. Here's the link at least, right? Here it is. US and Canada. Here's a link. Canada and US. Click the respective links and y'all can give him a $30. Actually, you have to actually use this shit. Advertisements like this is actually so ass. Because like, you only get paid if people actually use the code. It's like affiliate marketing. So like, they will send you like a free product, which is nice. If they actually got like a free, like almost $500, you know, chair, that's fucking sick, right? But then if you actually want to make bonus incentives on that, you need to have your chat use the discount code. Just it's the same thing with this, like the Sakura Co and the Tokyo Treat, you know, you see the Sakura Co here, right? In the Tokyo Treat boxes, what I used to do with the last year. But here's a really interesting thing. Affiliate marketing is really ass if you have Patreon incentive. Because like the value proposition in those snack boxes are now competing directly with my Patreon. Do you think the average consumer would want to spend at least like 2 times the amount of what my monthly Patreon sub is for a bunch of fucking snacks? It just doesn't align. That's why I stopped doing those affiliate marketing sponsorships, because it's just like, I'm already sponsored by my Patreons, right? The best type of sponsors you can get, I've noticed this mostly on TikTok. There's these advertisement companies that will reach out and they'll say, can you react to, let's say, this Genshin Impact concert? Can you react to this Wuthering Waves trailer? Can you react to Infinite Nikki and do a bunch of stuff like that? Now, I am paid a flat rate based on like the market rate of what they deem my content to be. And then the more views you get, the more money you can make. Literally off of me reacting to one Genshin Impact trailer reaction. I think I made like $700 USD off of like a 30-second fucking clip. And that fucking blew my mind in comparison to the Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co sponsorship, where throughout the entire year, I made less than $100. And it makes a lot of sense. Who the fuck is gonna buy the snack boxes when they could simply sub to the Patreon instead and actually get the reaction content that they were even here for the first time?
Chair. The more you buy, the more you save, honestly. So go check out the link in the description, and thank you FlexiSpot for sponsoring this.
The more you buy, the more you save. Motherfucker. So you telling me that instead of buying one shirt for $450, you want me to buy 2 for $900 and I save $60? yeah, but okay, I save $60, but I had to pay $900. What is this logic?
This video. All right, here is my almighty spreadsheet for anime in 2024. Let's start with the lowest scoring anime that was still somewhat popular, with Slime Season 3.
I think that the rating is pretty high. I wouldn't consider Season 3 in the realms of the 8s. I thought this is like minimum 7.5, right? 7.69 I think is a very fair score for what 8-bit Studios pumped out for Season 3.
Kind of makes sense that this is the lowest scoring one. It was a pretty boring season, all things considered. Then we have Mashal Season 2. I think this was only popular because of the opening.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Mashal Season 2 better than Slime? Mashal, bro? The Japanese people call it Mashle, by the way. Mashle, I feel like Season 1 was such a unique twist on a battle shonen. Using muscles, it's kind of like One Punch Man, right? I compared this to like Saitama going to Hogwarts, and it was funny, it was goofy, and it was so different. But as the episodes progressed, that running gag, that like gimmick of being able to overpower with simply muscle falls off so quick, and then it becomes like a generic like battle shonen, whereas there's like, I don't really care. Like Season 2 content, if you think about the villains, and if you think about like the plot, it's getting way more hype and epic. But I don't really give a fuck because it's just this generic battle shonen. The reason One Punch Man doesn't get boring or gimmicky is because even though it has a gimmick, it focuses on the side characters and builds them up so that when you have enemy threats, you see it from their perspective and suddenly you feel way more like engaged with the story, even though you know that Saitama's coming and saving the day, right? Or even like Eminence in Shadow as well. So Mashle getting a higher rating than Tensura is fucking crazy to me. But again, that Creepy Nuts opening, it seems like Creepy Nuts is just going to dominate anime openings from now on.
If I'm being completely honest, the actual show kind of had that problem that a lot of comedy anime have, where they just reuse the same joke over and over again.
It's just like cream puffs and muscle magic.
Then we have Classroom of the Elite Season 3. I'm never going to watch this, but
Code Season 3 got almost an 8? Wow. That's crazy to me. Was it? Listen, I'm a big Code enjoyer. I'm a big coat glazer and an enjoyer, but this is almost like an 8 on average. it truly shows you that the anime onlys love this shit. There's a big vocal minority of light novel elitists that fucking hate the anime. And I understand. We checked out the cut content. They are not doing the show the justice it deserves. But I think Studio Lurch, they're doing a pretty decent job in engaging the anime only audience. So like, it's just like the ratings. Look at that shit. They love this shit. And you know, season 4 also is pretty much greenlit at this point, right?
All you Ayano Koji profile pictures in the comments, you know, let me know how it is. Demon Slayer season 4 is actually one of the worst.
That's fucking crazy, bro. Demon Slayer season 4, dude, it's the finale episode. The finale episode was like a 10 out of 10, and all the previous episodes was just pretty much filler bullshit, which not even that engaging like Hashira moments either. But like the finale episode again, it's the blue lock, it's the blue lock phenomenon, right? You show up for the finale, give people a great impression, and then it like evens out the averages of the previous episodes.
First scoring anime of 2024. Very, very interesting. This is the Hashira training arc, and I think for a lot of people, it was just kind of boring. Like, yeah. I completely understand where people.
Until the finale, until Muzan started to show up like Michael Jackson and started to walk really slowly, this shit was ass. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Like, there were some good moments with like the Water Hashira's like backstory arc, I guess. There were some cool anime only scenes with Sanemi and the snake guy, right? Those scenes was actually really cool. I really enjoyed how Tanjiro literally got banned like a fucking restraining order against Sanemi because that shit went crazy. But other than that, it's really just that they're milking so much. Like, how the fuck did you milk 8 episodes out of a fucking like a 1 hour movie or something, right? It blows my mind how they actually did that, which also encourages me because if there's 3 movies coming out for the Infinity Castle arc, you know how movies are, right? It might be like a delayed release for the Western audience, right? It's always like a domestic release first. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen with that. But on top of that, movies, it's just like you get less content out of it for like content creation for YouTube. If you think strictly from like a performance and like, you know, like a profitability standpoint, it's better if you have, you know, episodes coming out week by week basis for like 3 months rather than having one fucking movie and it's done, right? You run out of content. So I have hopes. I have high hopes that the 3 movies will be 3 separate fucking seasons that Studio UFO Table, that's right, UFO Table, not Ufotable, will milk.
Coming from. At the very end, something did happen, but man, majority of the season was just kind of mid. Then we had Solo Leveling. Now this is one of the most popular anime. In fact, I think it's.
I'm surprised that the rating for Solo Leveling is actually this low. I thought that people were glazing this shit like crazy to the point that it might be getting to like a 9.
The most popular anime from AniList and My Anime List, but it's one of the lowest scoring, and I think
probably a lot of haters too, right? Anytime you got a super popular show like this, like a lot of people extremely hate Solo Leveling because of how glazed it is.
I think we're actually going to see Solo Leveling kind of become like the next SAO in my eyes. It really feels very similar. You know, you kind of got like that Isekai-like premise. You got a really overpowered main character. Then we have Kaiju number 8. You know, it was okay. Like the plot's okay. It's nothing crazy.
It was okay? Yeah, the plot's not something crazy, right? But I thought that the pacing of this show was so fun. Like there was like literally no break time, and some people enjoy the slow times, but me, every episode it was just fucking go hype. I loved the season 1.
Crazy. But Production ID did a great job in animating it, so I understand why it has a decent score, but not a great score, right? Okay. At 8.3. Then we have Konosuba Season 3, just a classic. Konosuba never really disappoints. I'm actually surprised it's on the lower end here, but at a certain point, you know, the difference between a lot of these is pretty marginal. Then we had Mushoku Tensei Season 2, very controversial season.
I'm surprised that Season 2 is this low. I thought that'd be way higher. But then again, maybe I'm focusing too much on the peaks and not thinking about the overall episodes, right? I mean, Season 2 also combines Part 1 and Part 2, and a lot of people were very upset and frustrated that we're spending so much time at the academy trying to fix Rudy's boner. You know what I mean? A lot of people hated that shit. They're like, when are we getting out of slice of life rom-com? What the fuck are we doing?
There were some production issues, but ultimately I think it was a decent season. It kind of went, you know, in an interesting direction. We had the erectile dysfunction arc, then we had dungeon meshing. Now this is one of my favorite anime of this season.
One day, guys, give me a release date. I will marathon this shit 1 episode at a time.
8.5, kind of smack dab in the middle, actually. I think Dandadan was one of the best shows this entire year.
Only 8.58? Really? Dandadan didn't even crack top 10. According to anime fans.
Here, one of the most popular shows of this season with an 8.575. The ending was unfortunate, ends on a cliffhanger that doesn't really get resolved. I feel like
Also, maybe I should move my camera down here so that you can see like how many people are actually voting to give you like an idea.
Like ending midway through an arc is just, I don't know, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Then we have Oshinoko Season 2. This
Let's
was
go.
great. Like, as a manga reader, this is all I kind of wanted from this anime. And
I love Oshinoko Season 2. Very unfortunate that outside of Japan, the global audience don't really care about this. But, like, Season 2, I loved it. Melt Redemption arc. Fucking Aqua turning into... he started biting people, bro. It was so edgy. And then Ruby awakening the Dark Staringan at the end. Peak edgy, peak shonenification of this theater arc that you would think wouldn't be that fun, but they did it. They made it fucking battle shonen-esque.
And I actually think, you know, they knocked it out of the park in terms of the adaptation. There were so many amazing, beautiful cuts in that season. They really went all out with the...
Yeah, Dogakobo truly showed preference towards Oshinoko compared to Roshitere, right? It felt like me watching like a JC staff anime where you see Danmachi as Oshinoko and maybe like, I don't know, maybe like Mao 2099 as Roshitere. Different priorities, different teams.
Creative direction of Oshinoko that
I swear to fucking god, if Roshitere makes it above in the top 10 list over Oshinoko, that's gonna be fucked up. What if Yuki's incest memes were enough for people to vote this shit higher than Oshinoko?
We have the Haikyuu movie. If you watch this, you know it was heat. It was pretty good. Next, we have the Ume Musume anime. Now, I want to make
13,000 views. Okay, what you need to understand again is how math works, right? Just because you see a higher rating, this doesn't mean shit. How many people actually voted? This isn't even in the six figures anymore. 13,000 people voted compared to hundreds of thousands of people that voted in the past. So like, obviously, this is a very skewed average.
Make a video about this. I will, in fact, but I actually think this...
The impact frames are fucking crazy, though. The production value of this shit, what is it about? How could furries running around the track be this fucking hype?
This is one of my favorite sports anime of 2024, and I'll be talking about it. I watched it, and I thought it was great.
Dude, this shit... Oh, let's go ReZero. Uma Musume is like JJK in Japan. They love this shit, man. They absolutely adore the show.
We have ReZero Season 3. This being pretty highly rated does not really surprise me.
I wonder if people are going to start wars on Twitter saying, ReZero higher rated than Mushoku Tensei Season 2. Mushoku Tensei could never. And then everyone starts, Okinix probably, you know, fucking posted a tweet already. The fucking fandom wars that happens on Twitter for these two shows, it's crazy, bro. It's just like clockwork.
ReZero Season 3 is still ongoing, so there's definitely a chance for it to fuck up, but I would not expect this to go down anytime soon.
I don't think it's gonna fuck up. I think it can only be better because like it's not even core 1. Part 1 of this, you know, 2-part arc 5, 16 episode, you know, and it might go 30 episodes too. No one knows the actual episode count for Season 3. Like, we are just getting started. The really hype shit is about to happen in February.
Next, we have Look Back at 8.
The Chainsaw Man author's original movie, right? I hear that this is amazing.
7. Now, this is the 5th highest rated anime of 2024, and I believe the highest rated original anime of 2024 as well. And I think that is well deserved. Hibiki Euphonium Season 3. I haven't watched Hibiki Euphonium, so I can't give my 2 cents on it, but I hear it's very good. Dangerous in My Heart Season 2. Now, this is my favorite role.
Wow. I love this shit. Well, I guess this is what happens when you don't really have beef, right? When you don't have drama, you don't have really beef with other fandoms, you're just doing your own little thing, and it's actually really good too. 115,000 votes. Not very high compared to the others, but a very high rating.
Romance of 2024. Highly, highly recommend. The fact that it's the 3rd place, the 3rd highest anime of 2024.
That's kind of cap. Again, these averages mean fucking nothing, right? Because if you have, you know, like 1 million people voting and you get like 8.2 because there's a shitload of haters. But if you have like a very small knit community and they all love it and you get a higher rating, doesn't mean that the smaller community anime is actually better. No, right? These numbers are extremely skewed.
Really interesting and kind of surprising, actually. I wasn't expecting to be this high. Next, we had 1,000 Year Blood War from Bleach Part 3.
Wow.
Now, I think Bleach had one of the biggest comebacks in all of anime history, if I'm being completely honest.
What Bleach is doing, I think, is amazing. Because like the manga arc for this got rushed at the end, right? People like were complaining that like the rushed ending just ruined Bleach as like it's a big 3 anime. It's one of the OGs of the battle shonens, and it just got done dirty at the end of the manga, remember? And it coming back as like a seasonal anime with actual quality rather than being like, you know, every week you get just fucking sloppy with like, you know, you get like a fat like 3-minute intro recap, 2-minute opening, you get 5 minutes worth of content intermission, then like 3 minutes of content and it's done. It's just like, what the fuck, right? That's like the modern, that's not the modern, that's like the old way, like basically Toei One Piece in the Dressrosa arc.
Coming back from like, you know, nobody really watching Bleach back in the limelight. It's like, what, the big three never really died, huh? Except for maybe Naruto. And lastly, we have One Piece, still the king of shonen. I heard
This is an episode though. One Piece fan letter is a singular episode though, right? It's not a season. But yeah, I heard that this was amazing.
This was just an exceptional, you know, I don't think it's filler, but, or I guess it is kind of filler, but it's like an anime original. I haven't gotten there yet, so
it's supposed to be like from the perspective of the Marines during the Marineford arc, I think.
I don't want to spoil myself by watching it, but I've heard really, really good things. Very interesting list. I think this kind of shows that 2024 as a year wasn't as strong as a lot of other seasons, you know, and there's just a lot of like sequels and season 2s. And I feel like when you see that at the top of a 2024 list, that means you didn't have an amazing year. So
if you have more sequels in top 10s, then it's not a good year of anime. Why? Because if you have brand new anime, it's why? I don't understand that logic. In fact, couldn't you argue? Well, I was trying to argue from the standpoint of the anime fandom is staying strong because you have a lot of sequels outperforming brand new animes. But it's also like, do we have that many brand new animes that was good? Not really. It's just kind of on the top of my head, like a fresh new season of anime coming in, like Solo Leveling and Dandadan and Kaiju. It kind of comes to mind. Everything else was a lot of sequels. Oh, Apothecary Diaries too. Well, those are 2023, exactly.
But let's look at Google Trends. I've actually inputted the 5 most popular anime from the spreadsheet into Google Trends to kind of see, you know, what was the most popular anime of 2024 according to Google. As you can see, the blue is Solo Leveling, the red is Demon Slayer. Obviously,
Demon Slayer.
When season 4 came out, this shit hit to 100. So Demon Slayer by far kind of still remaining as one of the goated shonens. I think Solo Leveling is kind of looking to be the next big SAO in my eyes.
It's actually very impressive that Solo Leveling is competing this high. Like most webtoon projects, right? It just kind of gets done dirty, like God of High School or Tower of God. But Solo Leveling with A1 Pictures, they're doing well.
Like I said before. And then we see Dandadan is also kind of up there competing. Demon Slayer's in the mix. So I think Demon Slayer, Solo Leveling, and Dandadan are kind of the big 3 coming out of 2024 in terms of popularity. I put Kaiju number 8 and Konosuba on there. They're not really doing anything. Next, let's move on to Reddit. So we'll start with Winter.
The only opinion that matters online, Reddit's opinion. But hey, at least they have Apothecary Diaries up there. This is actually really good. Top 3 here? Even top 4 with Solo Leveling? I love this. You got Frieden, Apothecary Diaries, and Dungeon Meshi up there. Now, I haven't seen Dungeon Meshi, but the level of glaze it gets, it can only make me think that like it's really good.
2024. Now, this still includes anime that...
Instant Death. 468, bro. 468 instant fucking death. I'm surprised it even made it onto the list.
Came out in 2023. I didn't include anime that came out in 2023 and like we're still airing. Also, who chose this Frieren? What the fuck is this?
Feet. Grippers. They love the feet.
Of course, Redditors use this picture for the Frieren. But yeah, Frieren Apothecary Diaries, obviously one of, 2 of the best anime of 2023, but
yeah,
that's last year. Not going to talk about those. We had Dungeon Meshi kind of being the most popular. Also, all of these thumbnails are so sus. Who made this? Solo Leveling also kind of up there, gushing over magical girls. Dangers of My Heart season 2.
Gushing over that. Wait, Villainous level 99 is this high up? That's impressive. Then again, like, and here's a really interesting thing, right? And I know that YouTube reaction viewership means little to nothing, but it's still a data point. Instant Death, the anime that you have here, Instant Death, and Villainous Level 99, these 2 shows, right, were actually, and even Gushing Over Magical Girls, these were clearing numbers like I've never seen before back in, I think, like January. Bro, each episode was getting like 10K views. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But, I mean, obviously, just because people are clicking onto it doesn't mean it's going to be a high rating show. Some people just want to see like a dumpster fire, right? Like a train wreck happens. So that's kind of what Instant Death was.
Season 2. and Shangri-La Frontier, Mashal, and yeah, and some other stuff. Next, we have Spring 2024, the most popular from
Jesus Christ, Konosuba, what in the hell is this?
spring was Mushoku Tensei Season 2. Dungeon Meshi, I think, was still airing, so
Hey, Chilling in Another World. If you guys haven't seen this, I actually recommend it. This show is so fun. It's so wholesome. It's just chill isekai. It may seem like a generic power fantasy isekai in episode 1, and I thought so too. My episode 1 reaction of me was like, this shit is so mid. This shit is so generic. Who cares? And then episode 2 happened, and Danna-sama happened, and I was like, I see.
has that number 2 spot. Konosuba Season 3. What are these thumbnails, dude? Who is making this?
Booba.
Kaiju number 8 is actually up there, interestingly enough.
Spice
Spice
and
and
Wolf.
Wolf remake. Oh man,
Cool.
this was so good. I don't think
Ooh, Mahoka. Even if you pimp out, Council Prez, what 8-Bit Studios did to Mahoka, bro, it is tragic.
a lot of people watch this, but if you did, you're a real one, bro. Spice and Wolf was great. Let's move on to summer 2024. We had My
How the fuck is Nokotana? Well, it's because it's the ratings again. The ratings are based on weekly engagement, ranking, and discussion. Nokotan is the biggest fucking fall off, man. It is unreal.
Dear Friend Noko-tan.
Also, yeah, these are ratings based on like specific episode like discussion posts, right? We're not rating like the entire season. These are specific episode discussion posts.
I'm surprised this was at the very top. I guess the Redditor humor is kind of strong.
Look at this
with
shit.
This anime. I honestly didn't think the comedy was that great.
The comedy was ass for the most part.
I was expecting a lot more. Oshinoko Season 2 though, and Tower of God Season 2. I'm actually surprised this is so high because I heard a lot of bad things.
But again, it's episode 1. Episode 1 had a lot of people excited because it wasn't terrible. It wasn't. Episode 1, I think, was pretty decent. It retained the hype and the momentum, I guess, coming off of season 1 as the best it could do, I guess. But everything fell apart after that.
I bet Tower got Season 2. Next, we have Alia sometimes hides her feelings.
Yep, this is the Ohio Oni-chan moment. It blows my mind how this incest bait anime hit like 50k views on that fucking reaction video because people only care about the incest memes. They don't actually care about the plot of this show.
In Russian. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was too bad. Wistoria, actually near the bottom, interestingly enough. I thought Wistoria is one of these sleeper hits. Not a lot of people watched it, but the action was really, really fun.
Reddit just doesn't like Wistoria, huh? I'm surprised that like the finale episode wasn't, included in here as like the most highest rated discussion post. Like the finale episode, not the finale, I guess the penultimate episode, right? Basically the one where we had a crazy ass moment of a sword being imbued with magic, and he is like the magic and sword or whatever, and Mondan sword, sorry. But episode 1 was higher than the penultimate one.
Next, let's move on to fall 2024. Obviously, we have Bleach.
This is Anime Corner now, and this is doing top 10 anime of the week for week 3. October 11th to October 18th, 2024. These rankings are so fucking random. We're just going off of Mal like average ratings before. Then we checked out like Reddit's like weekly discussion posts specifically on like random like the highest ranking weekly posts. And now this is only for week 3. Like this is just week 3.
One of the most, highly rated anime of 2024. We have Blue Blocks, one of the best romance anime. ReZero, Season 3, of course. Dandadan, surprised that's at number 4. We have Danmachi. We
Love to see Danmachi up there.
have Blue Lock Season 2. Blue
What the
Lock, you guys
fuck?
know my thoughts on Blue Lock Season 2, but Ranma 1/2 and Dragon Ball Daima, some old classics. The Ranma 1/2 remake was actually pretty good. But yeah, that is a look at anime 2024 by the data. I hope you guys found this interesting. And now let's move on to my personal favorite anime. We're starting off strong with Solo Leveling. I've read the manhwa for this, and when I was watching it, I actually ended up dropping it, and I picked it back up because I was a little bored by the story. I think they added a lot of like filler and stuff. And so I would originally give it like an A, but I think I would move down to a B. Next we got Blue Lock. I just put a video.
Solo Leveling on B tier? Damn. I guess like the impressions of the webtoon is just so much better than the actual anime.
Very recently on the comeback that Blue Lock Season 2 had, right? With the last episode being kind of insane, kind of
yeah.
But
You're gonna place it over?
That's enough to kind of put up with a season of mediocrity. I don't think it's the worst of 2024. So I'm actually gonna
Based. Yeah. It needs to average out. You can't just take the finale. You can't just look at the good shit and ignore all the rest, right? It needs to even out somewhere. C tier. I thought he put it in like B tier along with Solo Leveling, but okay.
I'm gonna put it in C tier.
All right.
Let's make this F, bro. This is yeah. Blue Lock was
F tier. We skipping C, D, E. Okay, we're just going to F.
Sorry, it got fumbled. And again, no hate to the animators. I made an entire video saying like, hey man, it's not the animator's fault, right?
That's
I interviewed
right.
the animator. It's really just the conditions that you're put in. And next we got Uzumaki, another similar
Dookie.
thing. I mean, I made a whole video about this. So you guys kind of already know my feelings on
Dookie.
it. I think it's below Blue Lock. For these two, just read the manga. I'm telling you. Next we got Mashal, and
Mashal better be minimum B. This shit is not better in Solo Leveling.
this is gonna be a controversial take. Mashal season 2. This was my worst anime of the year.
Based. I respect that.
I actually hated Mashal season 2. I understand a lot of people liked it because of the Bing Bo.
It's quite the extreme rating, but like, damn, that's a really low rating actually. Worst of 2024. I think there's like a lot of. I think Mashal is probably better than Uzumaki, right? Like that's just makes sense to me. Like, how the fuck could it be worse than Uzumaki? But again, Mashle, like, I just turned into this just repeated just running gags that's not really that funny and just turned to like a generic battle shonen. It lost all the essence of what season 1, the first couple episodes was to me. And you could see it near the end of season 1 too, of it kind of like falling apart.
You know what I'm saying? The fucking opening, pretty bad animation. The jokes just did like we got the exact same jokes we got in season 1, bro.
Yep.
What's going on?
Cream puffs, baby. You don't like cream puffs?
Can the writers write something new? Like, they're cooking nothing. The only thing that carried that show was the opening. I would watch the opening and then I would close the anime. Next, you got Slime.
The ending was really cool too. I love like the different like sports cars that all the different characters had. To the point where I think like even Mash is like running and like pushing like a fucking Lamborghini and like outspeeding everyone else. The song was great too.
Is pretty good, but animation can be a little subpar sometimes. There's a lot of just talking. I think I'll put it in B tier. I think it's
Tensura B tier? Yeah. I would put Solo Leveling A tier here though. I think Solo Leveling was way better in Tensura Season 3 to me personally.
fun. It's like a good power fantasy. It's worse than Solo Leveling in terms of animation for sure, but I think the story is actually better than Solo Leveling. All right, next we got Demon.
The story is better than Solo Leveling. Well, yeah, I mean, Tensura's story is fucking crazy.
Slayer, the Hashira training arc. Oh man, what a dog shit season. This was horrible. Yeah,
Again, like the finale episode, I loved it, man. The finale episode was fucking peak, but the rest of it was like womp womp. Uh-oh, sorry.
putting this in F tier. And look, don't worry, I'm putting it below. I'm putting it above Blue Lock, sorry. But
All right.
I know people are already going to be mad at me for this take, but let's be honest. Demon Slayer Hashira training arc was one of those.
No, I think he's actually correct here. Obviously, a lot of Demon Slayer fanboys are gonna fucking complain and cry and screech about this shit, but objectively look at season 4, bro. You cannot tell me that this is the best Demon Slayer can offer.
Boring seasons of Demon Slayer I've ever had to sit through. The only redeeming part is the last episode, and it feels like Blue Lock. Right? It's like Blue Lock season 2. all over again.
Exactly.
The last episode is the only redeeming thing. Now, to be fair, the Hashira training arc had good animation throughout. Pretty consistent. I think the movie will be good, but is this season good?
I hope so
Hell
too.
no. Next, we got Machine losing. Too many losing.
This shit better be minimum AS tier. Machine was so fucking good. It came out of nowhere. A1 Pictures delivered so hard for it. I love this anime. This shit, again, it better be minimum AS tier.
Heroines. This was really good. A1 Pictures brought their A game with the production quality. The animation was just pretty decent all the way around. I feel like some of the girls are also a little too tropey. The drama was fun when it was in the first 3 episodes. It lost its steam throughout the season, if I'm being.
It lost its steam? I feel like the steam picked back up during Komari arc. I love the Komari arc. The Lemon arc made me angry. That shit pissed me off. I hate the Lemon resolution. She got cucked still at the end, and it's just like womp womp. And like, they made a special ending. A1 Pictures made a special ending for Lemon where it's so stunning. It's so beautiful. It's like a totally different art. She's like dancing in space, but it turns out it's just a dream, and she wakes up and she doesn't have Mitsuki and she's just crying in a fucking bathtub. And I'm like, this is fucked up. You did not have to do this to Lemon. It was tragically beautiful.
Being honest. But very strong start. Pretty good romance anime. Mushoku Tensei Season 2, right?
S or A tier, right?
The season was decent. It's not bad. There's a few gripes you could have with the ending, where it feels like things kind of get fixed a little too easily. I'm not going to spoil too much. I'll put it up here. Kaiju number 8. Now this is...
Wow, Makino or Mushoku Tensei Season 2. Pretty based. Okay, Kaiju 8? I mean, Kaiju 8 was just as equal as hype as Solo Leveling to me. So I guess like according to this list, it'd be right between Solo Leveling and Tensura.
Is the definition of a bad plot can't be saved with even with amazing animation. Wistoria, again.
Bad plot cannot be saved with good animation. Demon Slayer would like to differ.
Really just in this camp of like good production quality, but
Yeah.
like not great story wise.
Arikendo really he really prioritizes like actually a deep plot. Unga Bunga action, pretty production is not enough. We need like deep plot.
Pretty generic story, if we're being honest. It's kind of just Black Clover. It's a guy who's
I mean, it's done by the author of no, it's not Black Clover, right? It's by Danmachi, I think. It's like I mean, to me, I mean, again, everyone has different opinions, right? It's just subjective, right? To me, even if the plot is like generic or very simple, as long as like the execution of these generic plot points are done well with like really great animation, obviously, it's just enough for me to really enjoy it. Wistoria to me would go to like A tier, to be honest. It's just really, really fun.
He's really strong and he can't use magic in a world of magic. Okay, man, we just remade Black Clover. Pretty good animation, pretty fun.
Again, I genuinely don't care if you're copying someone else. The world revolves around copying the existing formula and making it better. I do not care about repeated formulas. I care about the execution of those formulas.
At least like every episode I knew I was gonna get some fun action, and it didn't really leave an impression on me. Speaking of good world building though, Dungeon Meshi was a sleeper hit for me.
This makes me excited for Dungeon Meshi even more because of how he rates, you know, a good plot. Dungeon Meshi, bro, this shit came out of nowhere. Like, we checked out a couple first episodes and it didn't do well on my channel, and I was like, all right, I guess I gotta drop this shit like Frieden and Apothecary Diaries. So fucking sad that I missed out on Frieden, Apothecary Diaries, and Dungeon Meshi. And then Frieden later on, I had tried to brute force that shit. Near the tail end of this shit, Apothecary and Dungeon Meshi both were just popping the fuck off on YouTube reactions. I'm like, what is happening? I can't wait to figure out what's gonna happen when, again, season 2 release date. Give me that shit, I'll be there.
Me, man. I remember I saw this on Netflix.
I hear the world building is insane. A lot of the one thing that I hear common with Dungeon Meshi is that the world building is on another level.
I would watch it during my lunch breaks. I was like at work, and I just kept watching it every time it released at my lunch breaks. And God, the evolution of Dungeon Meshi, the world building, all the characters, triggers, amazing animation. The fact that it got darker as it went on. Dungeon Meshi really was one of my favorite shows of this year. It makes you hungry though, so you gotta be eating something while you're watching. Konosuba Season 3. Konosuba never fails to disappoint. Pretty decent animation, funny jokes, the writing's on point. A tier.
Konosuba never fails to disappoint. Konosuba never disappoints. Konosuba never fails to disappoint. Doesn't that mean it's just disappointing? Hey, it's random fucking phrasing. Is Season 3 that good? I like the serious tone of it. I genuinely enjoyed how Konosuba, you know, the ending arc with Darkness got really, like, serious. I truly enjoyed that. The comedy usually is hit or miss for me, but Season 3 content was pretty fun. It was. The ending with Vanir, too, was fucking crazy. Maybe it is up there. Maybe it is.
Tier, for sure. Orb. It's another sleeper hit, man. I'm putting it on the S tier.
Yep. I loved Orb. But, you know, you think my isekai fantasy watchers, you know, power fantasy watchers gonna be able to enjoy this shit? Only people from Japan actually came out to watch Orb, and even they dropped this shit as soon as episode 3 happened.
This kind of just felt like Vinland Saga. Like, I was getting Vinland Saga vibes while watching it, but it felt not as much.
It's Vinland Saga because white people. Anime not based in Japanese setting? Yo, this shit's Vinland Saga.
Like, just directly on Thorfinn's journey, but it felt like we're looking at humanity's journey, right?
Yeah.
Like
Poland Saga,
understanding how
exactly.
the Earth moves in relation to the sun, which is super cool. I love science. You know, I watch Neil deGrasse Tyson YouTube shorts all the time, so I think this was kind of right up my alley. And if you enjoy science, you enjoy that kind of like human drama that Vinland Saga has, definitely check out Orb.
It was a very unique anime, very different from anything that we've seen so far, right? It's just, again, it's sad that great animes like this will never be appreciated to an audience of monkeys that just wants junk food.
Ume Musume Pretty Derby movie. Now, I watched this last night, guys.
Okay.
Holy shit, this was one of the best anime I've seen this entire year.
Can I watch this shit without watching these seasons? Can I just jump in? This is making me want to watch by myself at night.
what, like, I don't know what's going on with the gacha game funding. Bro, they got like money, they got racks on racks on racks. I don't understand.
Uma Musume performs really, really well in Japan. I remember looking at the Sensory Tower gacha mobile game like revenue reports. Uma Musume is very strong every time.
This anime looks so good. This is what I wanted Blue Lock to look like. This was, I think, the best sports anime of this year. Honestly, this is the most underrated anime this year.
Even better than the Haikyuu movie?
The Uma Musume movie, definitely check that out if you're a fan of action. Next we got Dandadan. Oh man, we're getting to the heavy
A tier at least, right? Between A or S tier?
hitters right now. Really, really solid. I mean, I made 2 whole videos on Dandadan, I believe. So obviously I'm a fan. The cliffhanger at the end.
I hated that shit, but I get it. I get it. It's an awkward place to leave off, you know, the split core.
Not my favorite way to end a series. So I think I have to put it in the A tier, unfortunately.
Fair.
Yes, it was very good. Yes, as a manga reader, it still made me cry, but like, dude, that...
Here's the thing, right? And I've been really thinking about this. The whole example of how one single episode can change your mind about everything, but that position of that episode matters. If Dandadan ended with episode 7, I bet people would call this the best anime of 2024 with no doubt. Because again, just like the Blue Lock effect, the Demon Slayer effect, you give people a great and lasting impression right at the end, people will forget pretty much everything that happens before. But if that peak episode happens in the middle, and you end with a pretty weak way like Dandadan did, immediately ruins all the fucking build-up that's led up to it. Monkeys only remember the most recent shit. That's how it works.
Ending, I'm sorry that ending was horrible. I understand why they did it, right? Because they needed more time to make 24 episodes. And in fact, I kind of applaud them for that. But if I'm looking at Dandadan as a standalone anime, I can't, I feel like I can't
That's fair.
put it above Orb or above the Uma, like I can't put it in the same category.
Yeah, but also Dandadan hasn't really finished yet either, right? So when we revisit Dandadan after, you know, both like the split cores have finished, then I bet that it would be higher up.
Because it didn't give me that full, complete feeling. But episode 7 was spectacular. I don't know. I could very easily put it up here, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I think animes need a good ending. Dandadan literally just stops half arc. Like it is the most cliffhanger you can get. So
it's so
I'm not a huge
troll.
fan of that. Oshinoko season 2.
A or S tier. It's so good.
Oh my god, this is an S tier.
Yeah.
My favorite arc in the entire manga. I've read all of the Oshinoko manga. I'm caught up. Oh my god, Doka Kobo. These guys,
they killed it
out of the park. Okay, genuinely one of the best adaptations I've ever seen. I feel like not enough people were talking about Oshinoko season 2.
Yeah. It's domestically very popular. In Japan, Oshinoko does really well, but the global audience, they just don't give a fuck about it. I have a couple assumptions based on what I've seen by posting content online and just reading the comments, but a lot of people, I think, in the Western audience got baited by episode 1 thinking it's a murder mystery, first and foremost, rather than all the different idol stuff that was happening. And the rest of season 1, it just was like, what the fuck? This isn't what I signed up for. That's the impression that I'm getting by reading a lot of different feedback from the average watchers of, you know, that watch Oshinoko, and by the end, they just didn't give a fuck about it. So, like, season 2, in Japan, again, like, the Japanese audience did so fucking well. Freshest Anime goes to make, you know, Japanese subtitles for, you know, the Japanese audience to hit that specific audience, because shows like Elusive Samurai, Orb, Oshinoko, it pops off domestically in Japan, but the Western audience, no one gives a fuck about it. Like, not no one, but relatively to the domestic audience, it doesn't look that good.
Like, genuinely, this was amazing. The Dangers in My Heart
A or S tier, right?
Season 2. In summer, I said this was my anime of the year. It is not my anime of the year.
Okay.
But it's at the top of S tier. Oh my god, this gave me the feels like nothing else has.
Yeah, it's a great, it might be one of the best rom-coms I've seen, right? I think I would definitely place it up there with the likes of like Kaguya-sama. I love Dangers of My Heart season 2. The way that it also really enhanced the relationship between the two main characters. Also a very realistic depiction of a girl in a rom-com, which is rare because a woman author is actually writing this series because they know what a girl actually is like, rather than having a static waifu who just exists for you to self-insert as a main character and just to get all the fan service. Like, the girl also has her own set of problems, insecurities, and she feels very, very realistic. Both characters, fantastic. The development of the romance also was a very, what's the word? It felt good. It felt like we got closure, right? And I don't know what they're going to do moving forward, you know, season 3 onwards, but season 2, it's just like, mwah, beautiful.
This is one of the most relatable, down-to-earth romance anime I've ever watched. I genuinely just can't get enough of these characters, and that ending was beautiful. It ended beautifully. Just so good. You need to watch The Dangers of My Heart. If you're a romance fan, this is like my top pick for you to watch, 100%.
Now, ReZero is about to pull up If it gets higher or lower than Mushoku Tensei, people are gonna get mad regardless. Let's put it in S tier. Let's put it in S tier. I feel like the Fujimoto movie is going to be best of 2024 at this rate. ReZero probably somewhere in A to S tier, right?
If you're a romance fan, it's probably up here. ReZero season 3. I'm not the biggest fan of ReZero. It's still ongoing, to be fair.
Nuclear drama. Nuclear drama.
For now, I'm not fully caught up either, so that might, you know, I've only watched like the first few episodes. Oh, okay. So this is very preliminary. This could be anywhere. Okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Don't take this ranking, this one, too seriously.
Oh, a lot of people will take it seriously. There's probably motherfuckers in the comment section just fucking fuming at this rating.
And of course, with only one slot left, we have the look back movie. Now, I was
even probably pretentious, you know, made look back like the best of 2024. Like, this movie must be fucking unreal. I kind of want to check it out just by myself late at night.
I was really hoping something could dethrone this. I watched Arcane season 2. That's not really on here, but that would be an S tier, obviously. I haven't watched anything in the past like few years that has resonated with me so hard, and I think it's because I make YouTube videos. It's because I have a creative aspect, you know, that desire to create,
look back. Is it the movie of content creation?
Desire to make things so others can enjoy, but also that feeling of, you know, I'm not good enough, or my peers are better than me at this. It's by far my favorite anime this year. Highly recommend you go see it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. But yeah, all right, that is my full tier list. Well, that's anime in 2024 by the data. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys again so much for the support this year. I never imagined we would hit 60,000 subs.
He is doing quite well. He's doing quite well. I just want to do a little pocket watch right now and look at Social Blade for his monthly viewership too. How much is he popping off? How well is he doing? I see. Well, he's still doing really amazing. This tier list was great. This tier list, I think that it's obviously some people are gonna be very upset about the ReZero ratings, right? But this tier list overall, I think is fair. I think it really reflects like his representation of what he enjoys. Deep plots, right? Deep, like, thought-provoking stories rather than just unga bunga hype. Personally, Kaiju 8 Solo Leveling and Wistoria to me would at least go like A tier, maybe S tier. But again, I'm a very simple-minded person. I grew up watching Battle Shonen still. This shit also gets me really hyped out. But it isn't to say that I would, you know, demote these shows either. Orb, Oshinoko, Dangers in My Heart, I think they would accurately placed up there. I would just simply bump up these shows up here, and that's pretty much it. Please check out Mr. Arikendo's channel. Here's a link to his channel. Give a video a like, subscribe to him if you want. And I see 17 dislikes here, which is all from the ReZero fans who are like, ReZero behind Mushoku Tensei.